The Cuban Missile Crisis has escalated. The U.S. Air Force and U.S. Navy have conducted limited early morning strikes on Cuban missile SAM sites following the loss of a second U-2 spy plane over the country. Now Castro and Khrushchev have ordered that all Soviet cargo ships break through President Kennedy's quarantine. U.S. Navy warships in the area are authorized to engage any Soviet-flagged merchant ship that is en route to Cuba. While the Soviets are likely to respond to this move in some capacity, the U.S. Navy warships in the area have been given strict orders not to fire at any Soviet warships unless fired upon first. A recon flight has flown over 2 unidentified merchant ships. USS Henderson should be making contact within the hour. Hello everybody, Wolfpack here, and welcome back to Sea Power, Naval Combat in the Missile Age. Before we get started, I do want to say this is a very early look at Sea Power, and much of what you are going to see in this video is subject to change. In today's video, we are playing through a mission my buddy Finnish Jaeger created. This mission is set around the Cuban Missile Crisis. In this scenario, the Soviets have decided to push through the quarantine zone, and we are tasked with finding and sinking these merchant ships. We have quite a few vessels at our disposal. We have Joseph F. Kennedy DD-850. This is a Gearing class destroyer. USS Henderson, another Gearing. USS Roberts, which indeed is another Gearing. And last but not least, we have McDonough, a Farragut class guided missile destroyer. Now, she does have harpoons here, which are not historical for the time period, so we will not be utilizing those. The harpoons were added later on to these destroyers. We have a whole bunch of contacts already out here to the north of Cuba. I'm going to order Kennedy to race over. I mean, this contact's heading away. I highly doubt it is hostile, but I just want to check. So I'm going to have Kennedy head over to the east. Roberts is going to move and intercept these 2 ships. Let's order her to increase speed to flank and go investigate that. And Henderson also increase speed to flank and investigate as well. We are going to occasionally slow down because it is highly likely that there are Soviet submarines out and about. We have a bunch of radar contacts coming towards McDonough, and they are friendly F-4 Phantoms. Maybe coming back from a raid over Cuba. Well, that's very cool to see them. We have 2 merchants right around McDonough. We have a merchant over here, and then there's one behind us. I am going to order the Farragut class to turn around and visually identify that target before we move. We also have another radar contact closing in at us, 214 feet. Let's request it to identify itself. Identify yourself. Moving 620 knots. How fast were these F4s going? 620. It could be another F4. Very possible that is the case. Or it could be a Cuban MiG. Hard to tell. We have no air assets available to us at this time. It is just our 4 destroyers, which will make the scenario quite fun and quite interesting. This guy is moving at a speed of 2 knots. Kennedy, they're 18 nautical miles out. I'm going to have you go and VID that. Henderson, you will VID this radar contact. We'll keep our radars going for the time being. Roberts, quickly come to 1/3 speed. What is the thermal layer here? The thermal layer is at 438 feet. Okay, good thing I slowed down. Submerged contact. This is submerged contact? Information here. Yep, we got a submarine. More F4s flying overhead. Hopefully blasting some Soviet missile batteries. Okay, this guy is classified as a friendly merchant vessel as well. I'm going to order you to come back around, check out this contact. Lots of radar contacts going on over here. Now, they don't want us to fire at any Soviet warships unless fired upon first, so we are going to avoid engaging this submarine. I do want to track it, however. That is essential. We have this track identified, and jeez, she must be operating right in a duct or something, because we are picking the submarine up 30 nautical miles away. So a duct will carry sound waves much farther than they ordinarily would travel. And it is possible this is moderately inaccurate info here. We don't know what it is. Okay, let's mark this position real fast. This submarine is on an eastern course. I'm gonna mark it here. He's around here. Perfect. Roberts, move over. All ahead full. Go chase them down. More aircraft probably flying all over. The Air Force is conducting all sorts of raids, it would seem. And we're going to move VID that ship. These two certainly seem to be Soviet. They're heading straight for Cuba, which is incredibly suspicious if you ask me. Henderson's going to continue to move in. This radar echo. Can you identify yourself? Would you be so kind? Also, these two contacts are moving at 20 knots. Why are you in a hurry? That's a good question. Looks like another flight of aircraft coming in towards us. More friendlies. Awesome. We have a new single radar contact coming south. Altitude is 900 feet. Identify yourself, please, and thank you. We are also closing in on this radar contact up here to the north, track 7008. They are 10 nautical miles out and closing. You can kind of see them out there. We have another radar contact. We have some F4s way out here. Not sure what this other radar contact. It is fading. We are 8 nautical miles away from this target out here, and we see smoke on the horizon. Identify yourself. Let's see if they respond. They are not responding to that. Quickly, I want McDonough to come down all ahead 1/3. Also Roberts, all ahead 1/3. Start drifting. See if you can pick up that Soviet submarine once again. We are moving to intercept that sub. Where there is one sub, there are most definitely more, though. McDonough, I thought I ordered you to come and slow down. Let's cancel our orders. Cancel orders, there we go. Now slow down, all ahead 1/3. There we go. Roberts, all stop. And it's very possible that that submarine down here to the south is no longer operating in the duct. So we probably won't be able to pick her up unless she gets much, much closer. We were pretty lucky to even pick her up at all. Yeah, not hearing her, which is fine. Let's increase speed, all ahead full. We should be here at around 1300 Zulu, which works for me. McDonough, all ahead full. Continue to move in and identify this target. We'll keep tabs on this radar contact, but it doesn't look like it's much of a threat at this point. If it turns in, we will start blasting, of course. McDonough is continuing to close in on this radar contact, track 7008. It looks like it probably is a fishing smack or something small. Obviously, the radar echo is meager. We have a new radar contact. It's still that one vessel heading south. We're not picking up anything else that looks like it could be Soviet at this point. I do want to get all these ships identified. McDonough will race over to the east and take a look at track 7007 once we have identified this vessel right in front of us. I feel like we're getting pretty darn close. Should be able to pick out kind of what it is at this point. Roberts still racing in. I'll stop. Slow down. Do a quick sound check once again. Just to check and make sure. Kennedy, you are tracking down this other contact. Aha! Merchant ship. I wonder how visual radar. We have visual on it. Who has visual on it? There you go. Soviet vessel. Military supply all over the deck. Yeah, we're going to blow it out of the water, no doubt about it. Let's go info. Yeah, gearing. Class has radar contact on her. Okay, Henderson, continue heading this way. Continue chasing them down. Roberts, you have nothing? Alright. No sound contacts. Proceed on. So we have 2 Soviet vessels, most likely. I have no doubt in my mind that this other contact here is a Soviet freighter. And we also have this one running away. Kennedy is getting pretty close to it. Radar echo is meager, though. Neutral. Okay, a little fishing smack. Got it. This radar echo is large, so it could be Soviet or something. McDonough's going to turn and investigate that. She will commence a drift here in about 10 minutes or so. We do want to be wary of enemy submarines. How far is Kennedy away? 11 nautical miles from this radar contact. Got it. Well, it looks like these 2 freighters here are going to be our first victims. Roberts is in a very good position to intercept. Let's adjust this. There we go. Got it. Identified. Merchant ship. Okay, we're going to get into gun range and blow these freighters out of the water. Kennedy has made contact with one of these ships. It is a fishing vessel just operating out here. Little American fishing vessel. So Kennedy is going to reduce her speed down to 1/3. I am going to have her set up a patrol pattern in this area, and she will just be a picket ship, searching for any radar contacts that are coming in. McDonough is continuing to race in. She just reduced her speed and did a little sound check, did not pick anything up. Roberts is closing in on these merchant ships right in front of us. So the plan here is, I want Roberts to get close enough to the submarine before we engage. I do want to be able to engage the enemy submarine immediately if fired upon. So that's why I want Roberts to get nice and close. Speaking of which, let's slow down. I'll stop. Let's do a quick sound check. Because I have a feeling once we start blasting Soviet merchant ships out of the water, the Soviet submariners down there are not going to be too pleased with that at all. Not at all. Hey, we are down at 1 knot. Picking anything up? Does not look like it. Let's continue at 2/3 speed then. We could use our active sonar, but I am going to refrain from doing that for the time being. It is possible that sub is operating beneath the thermal layer, and that layer will make it hard for them to hear us, as well as for us to hear them. Oh, I don't want to keep blasting at flank speed with Roberts. Let's see, what's our gun range? They are almost in range. It is 12:41 Zulu, and we have some interesting developments. For one, this merchant ship, track 7007, is neutral, not a threat. We also have a new radar contact here, 7037. Meager, which I'm anticipating is most likely a fishing smack. Kennedy has also just picked up a new radar contact, small radar contact moving down south. It is an aircraft at 3,000 feet. Henderson and Roberts are in engagement range, and we are going to start opening fire on these merchant ships now. First things first, though, Roberts, come to a complete stop. All stop. Whoa, okay. The Soviets have fired at us. I'm glad I came to a stop. Slow down. Okay, first things first. Blow these freighters out of the water. Begin engaging. Henderson. Engage as well. Wake-homing torpedoes. Inbound, heading this way. We have a noise contact somewhere over here. Active sonar. See if you can pick anything up here. Roberts, ceasefire. I need you to head over to the east. Get out of the way of these wake-homing torpedoes. All ahead flank. All ahead flank. So I'm guessing the sub, probably right here on this track. We got their course heading east. They were moving at 3 knots. I mean, I'm going to drop a torpedo right on top of that area. If I could. If I could do that, we are out of range. A little far away to actually do that. Merchant is burning as Henderson continues to engage with her 5-inch mounts. So, judging from this torpedo situation here, got him here. The sub's probably right about here. Too far away to fire at this point. Roberts is continuing to engage. Good news, though, is Henderson is continuing to engage with their 5-inch mounts, ripping up these freighters. That freighter is getting absolutely hammered and is at a complete stop, pretty much, just coasting at 2 knots at this point, completely ablaze. You would think that his comrade right behind him would decide maybe it's time to turn around, although that does not look to be the case. Roberts, slow down, all ahead 1/3, reduce your wake. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Wake homers, they're way off base. I think we should be okay here. Hopefully our wake dissipates. There we go. We got our submerged contact. Let's mark this position right here. We're going to blow this sub out of the water, that's for sure. Okay, we hit that ship as well. And Henderson's going to continue to engage. You could actually probably switch targets. Hold fire. Begin engaging track 7004. Reduce speed to 2/3. Roberts, come down this way. Maintain contact on that sub. Mark 46 torpedoes there, just out of range. We're going to wait for these wake homers to pass. What's the distance here between the torpedo track and us? Drawing tools, ruler. Okay, we've identified it, which is good. Let's see. Almost 2 nautical miles. I want to keep moving just a little bit. I'll head 2/3 standard, actually. Keep heading away. Henderson will continue to engage at long range. Her gunnery isn't too accurate, 10 nautical miles away, but we'll get the occasional hit. The crew of the freighter in the lead is abandoning ship as she is going down. The second ship in the formation is now completely ablaze and pretty much at a complete stop. It is only a matter of time before it goes down to the bottom as well. And other good news, while Roberts is moving away, these wake-homing torpedoes doesn't seem like they've picked up our wake. We are going to turn south and investigate this submerged contact. Henderson, you can cease fire. Ceasefire, no need to engage. We have a couple more radar contacts out here. A couple of aircraft, most likely, possibly friendly. We have another couple of meager radar contacts up here to the north. Not entirely concerned about them. I do want to prosecute this submarine, though. This freighter, not looking great. And you know what? I want okay, it's sinking now. There we go. Just exploded, and she is going down. That's 2 freighters taken care of. We will continue to search for more, and we will hunt down the sub that took a pot shot at us. Roberts, all ahead flank. Actually, quickly come to a stop. Do a quick sweep. Make sure you don't hear any more torpedoes coming our way. These 5365K torpedoes are quite intimidating. If they lock onto our wake, we are going to have a tough time shaking them. Okay, there's our submerged friend. Perfect. No torpedoes have been fired. All ahead flank. 7 nautical miles out. We got to get a little bit closer for ASRock. I want to get in range, and we are going to drop torpedoes right on this sub's head. We have a new radar contact to the south. Kennedy's going to move to investigate. All ahead full. Go chase them down. Roberts here is racing in. She should be in range. I'll stop. Slow down. Okay. More wake-homing torpedoes have been fired. It looks like we slowed down just in time. She is in the process of launching. Okay. Come right. Come right, come right, come right. ASRock's in range. Get him. Engage that track. Whole bunch of wake-homing torpedoes. It looks like 3 wake-homing torpedoes have been fired. Okay, Roberts. Not the direction I wanted you to turn, but that's okay. 1 away. Fire a couple more. 2. Fire 2 more. There we go. 4 torpedoes. Have fun with that, Ivan. Ceasefire. All ahead flank. Turn around as quickly as possible. Get out of the way of these wake-homing torpedoes. There we go. Torpedoes are flying through the air. We should see the booster separate. I freaking love ASRock. Torpedo in the water. I am well aware. I'm well aware of those torpedoes in the water. Missile housing has separated. Parachutes deployed. Hopefully we have a good idea of where that Soviet sub is.
02. Contact baited. Track 7048. Contact baited. Track 7049.
Torpedo's about to splash here. Hopefully it drops right on him. Come on. Splash. Got him. There it is. Foxtrot class sub immediately deploying noisemakers. Wow, the pinging is not sounding... There we go. A little better there. Yep, Foxtrot. Dropping noisemakers. Come on, Roberts. Now you just got to get out of the way. This looks like a kill, though. Foxtrot's moving as fast as she can, but is she going to get out of the way of 4 Mark 46 torpedoes? Does not look like it. Impact. More inbound. 2. Screws have come to a complete halt. There we go. She's going down. That's a dead submarine. Good work, Roberts. Now you just got to get out of the way. Henderson, all stop. See if you can hear those torpedoes, and you sure can. Okay, they may be a problem for you as well. Okay, Roberts, turn away. Henderson, head over this way, all ahead flank. Roberts, what's your speed? 30 knots. You're moving as fast as you can. That's really our best bet, is to just get out of the way of the torpedoes and hope our wake dissipates, because these torpedoes do pick up the disturbances in the wake. And that's how they home in. We're losing contact now that we are hauling ass at 33 knots. That's okay by me. We've lost contact on Ivan here. It looks like she blew ballast. That 440 feet, there we go. She's going down. She succumbed to flooding. Okay, 2 merchants sunk, 1 Foxtrot destroyed. We have 2 more radar contacts to the south of Kennedy. I'm worried there might be another submarine down here escorting these 2 freighters. I have a feeling a couple of freighters operating near the Cuban coast. I'm going to rub a couple of brain cells together. I figure these are hostile. Let's focus on evasion efforts for the time being, though. Henderson's pretty far away. I'm going to have her sprint and drift. Again, I'll stop. Listen. Roberts is the one that's in immediate danger. Okay, we got the wake homing torpedoes. Henderson, all ahead flank, keep moving. Now going at flank speed, I mean, there's trade-offs to it. We are putting a lot of distance between us and these torpedoes. The problem is our propellers spinning as quickly as they are and us moving as quickly as we are is generating a very long wake relatively. So you kind of have to do a cost-benefit analysis here and see what you want to do. I think we should be able to get out of the way of these incoming torpedoes. Fingers crossed. Henderson is slowing back down, and I think we've gotten out of the way. Yeah, Robert should be good at this point. I'm gonna order Roberts to turn south and slow down. Now I want Henderson to really be the one that's booking it. All ahead flank and turn on an eastern course, please. There we go. Perfect. McDonough here is closing in on this radar contact, track 7057, large radar contact. And then we have these 2 to the south down here. Okay, Roberts. Secure your active sonar. Can you come to a stop, complete stop, and here? Can you pick up these torpedoes? These torpedoes are probably in our wake where we actually can't pick them up. Okay, Roberts, all ahead full sprint, turn south. I want to be able to hear these torpedoes coming in towards Henderson. Couple of radar contacts going south, probably to bomb some SAM sites or something in Cuba. Kennedy, how far away are you from these contacts? 19 nautical miles. New radar contact, okay. Okay, we've reestablished contact on the torpedoes. New radar contact. Okay, we just picked up a 3rd aircraft in this flight. Not concerned about them. McDonough continuing at 7 knots. You know what? That's okay. We're not in any rush. I want to pick up any submarines before hopefully they fire torpedoes at us. We got really lucky picking up this Foxtrot because now I'm on edge. I'm sure there are more Foxtrots where that came from. I think these wake homers should run aft of Henderson and not be able to track. Let's plot them here. They honestly should be reaching the threshold of their range, and yeah, there we go. I think they actually are here. Or we're just losing contact. Because Roberts decided to start moving. I'll stop. Did not mean to order Roberts to move that quickly. All right, Henderson. 2 nautical miles out. Yeah, we should be in the clear. We're going to keep moving at flank speed. Rather be safe than sorry. Once we have evaded these torpedoes successfully, we lost contact on a second one. Regardless, once we have evaded these torpedoes successfully, Roberts and Henderson will move to check out these 2 contacts along with Kennedy. McDonough up to the north will have to handle this situation all on her own. Actually, maybe I'll split them up. The problem is Henderson will have a long trip. We'll see. I'll send Henderson up north. I'll send Henderson. We'll split them up. I don't want one ship to have to deal with a serious problem like a submarine all by itself. Great news, USS Henderson is clear of the enemy torpedoes. She is going to turn north. She'll be up here at 1400 Zulu. Roberts, turn to the east, all ahead flank, because you know what we just picked up on Kennedy? A submerged contact out here. I wonder what that could be. 400 feet, course 232, right behind these two freighters. The Reds got subs everywhere, it would seem. Let's look at the info here. Yeah, definitely hostile. I'm going to identify it as such. Kennedy, how far away are you? Do we want to... This is a tricky problem. Again, we picked it up at 20 some odd nautical miles away. Come to a stop, I'll stop. There's got to be a duct. Yeah, 30 nautical miles out. Cuban vessel. Yeah, Cuban sub. Fascinating. Yeah, because we have... Let's go to this gearing. She's got to be in a duct. 400 feet has to be a duct. Because if we go to information here, unit reference, our old SQS 23, that's our sonar here. Passive range 18 kilometers. We've almost doubled our passive range here. Good to know. Quite lucky. Once the sub changes depth, I'm sure we will not be picking her up. Now, how far behind are the freighters, or how far in front, I should say? We may be able to engage the Soviet merchant ships without even being shot at by the submarine. I'm really operating under the assumption that these are hostile freighters as well. Kennedy's going to change course, move away from the sub now that we know it's there. All ahead full. We will sprint and drift quite a bit. McDonough, look at that city out there on the coast. That's pretty darn cool. All of the terrain is like just generated. It's pretty nifty for all the different biomes and stuff. Again, one thing that I think we don't appreciate in sea power here is the fact that we have the entire world to play around in. Like, I've done a whole bunch of missions up here in the North Atlantic, you know, off the coast of Norway, and now we're in Cuba. There's just so much we can do. It's really cool. Anyway, so again, just something that I think, I don't know, I'm just taking for granted in this game, and I was like, that's awesome. That had to have been a good chunk of work. Anyway, we have identified them, and indeed they are hostile. They are hostile vessels. What is this? Azerbaijan? What is that? Interesting. Okay, well, we are going to continue to move in and investigate these ships. Kennedy is now in position to open fire on the enemy, and we are going to do just that. All ahead 1/3. I do want to see if I can hear this enemy submarine. She is moving at 3 knots apparently. If I come to a complete stop. Okay, we got her. How far away is this? It's still so strange that we can actually hear her. I do wonder if that's intended. Regardless, 30 nautical miles out here. He's still at 400 feet. Okay, Kennedy. Main guns, open fire. Stay slow, all ahead 1/3. Let's blow these merchant ships out of the water. We have another radar contact here near McDonough. They are 17 nautical miles away. We are closing in on them. We'll see if we can identify them. Looks like things are getting a little dark over here. It's kind of interesting. Go over to Kennedy. She is continuing to engage. Are blasting these 2 freighters out of the water. Track 7046 is getting absolutely hammered by 5-inch rounds, and there we go. It has exploded, and she is going down. The crew is abandoning ship. Additionally, I should also note, the flag on this vessel is Pakistani. We have another merchant vessel identified, Kennedy. Begin engaging that target. Engage that one. The fire control radar's turning. The 5-inch gun should open fire here. There we go. Take out that last one. We have a new sonar contact as well. Just to the south, we've lost contact. Henderson is going to move to prosecute that contact. And Kennedy is going to work on this freighter. Let's come to a stop. I'll stop. Have we been fired at? That's the question here. I would like to prosecute and engage these submarines if I need to. We have a couple more freighters down here. We've destroyed 1, 2, 3, about to be 4, and here is the 5th freighter here. Soviet vessel carrying a whole bunch of supply. We have another visual contact. Can you identify yourself? Please and thank you. I'm gonna have to blow you out of the water too. Okay, this track's getting hit. Looks like it's at a complete stop now, making things a little easy for us. McDonough, we'll have you engage this target here soon enough. Almost in range. Keep hammering this freighter, and this one is a neutral vessel, American vessel, and you didn't bother to tell me you were selling right next to a Soviet here? That's all right. We have this merchant ship right in our way as well. I'm going to hold fire until we're in a good position. I don't want to be lobbing 5-inch rounds over a friendly tanker. That does not seem like a great idea. Roberts is continuing to head this way, although I don't think she's going to be a whole lot of help against a submarine that's even further to the east here. Another radar contact. More radar contacts way up here to the north coming in. Copy that. That's good to know. Kennedy remaining stationary. Let's start moving at 1/3 speed. We're not picking up that sub anymore, which is fascinating. It is possible it's dropped. I really do think there's got to be a duct at around 400 feet here, because sound is just traveling incredibly far. And if that sub, I wish I knew right now. I'm guessing the sub is dropped above or below the duct, and we're not picking her up. But let's have McDonough here come down. I'll stop. Slow down. We can see the flame out there of Henderson, or Kennedy, excuse me, doing her work. There we go. We're picking the sub way out here. She's at 410 feet. Right in that duct, moving at 10 knots. Henderson, how far are you from that target? Really far out. I do want to engage it if we can. But we are not hearing this other contact. Probably change depth. It's just fascinating. The water modeling in sea power is actually quite sophisticated, and even more detailed than that in cold waters, which is pretty nifty. Okay, let's increase speed. All ahead standard. Let's start moving. Let's move to engage this freighter. The Soviet freighter has been hit multiple times and she's pretty much going down. Kennedy is breaking off. Let's increase speed to standard, complete this turn. I do want to check behind us, make sure no torpedoes are inbound. Henderson is closing in on this merchant ship. Let's check. Guns cannot engage. Let's slow down, all ahead 1/3. See if you can pick up that submarine. Trying to pick them up. We have more radar contacts all around us. McDonough, 11 nautical miles out. All right, let them have it. Main gun, engage. Start firing with that 5-inch gun. There we go, love to see that. It's crazy seeing the fire rate difference between the Mark 42 gun and the guns on those Gearing class destroyers. The gun is also significantly more accurate, it would seem. We already got a couple of hits on the Soviet freighter. More aircraft are about to fly right over us, right as we are engaging this merchant ship, which is very interesting timing. Let's see, can you guys identify yourself, McDonough? No, continue to engage this merchant ship. Also, let's reduce speed all ahead 1/3. We're not picking up that submarine anymore. We're not picking up the sub to the south. Kennedy, what's your speed? Reduce speed all ahead 1/3. Henderson, come to a complete stop. There we go. Yeah, more F4 Phantoms just flying right overhead. Super cool. Watching us do our handiwork. Keep firing at them. Already punched a few holes in the side of the ship. There we go. Got the sub contact here. 21 nautical miles away from Henderson. Kennedy, come to a complete stop. I'll stop. What's her speed? This contact speed is 5 knots. Kennedy, coming to a stop.
Ceasefire. Track.
You picking it up? No idea where that submarine to the east is. All right. We'll continue to hunt down this submarine and hopefully blow it out of the water here soon. Henderson. Range. Still far out of range. Increase speed all ahead full. Continue to move in. McDonough, you firing with your 5-inch gun? What's it doing? It's reloading. Okay, got it. How's our freighter friend doing? She is running for it. Certainly a bold move. We will see if it pays off. This Soviet merchant ship is getting absolutely annihilated. Not looking too good, frankly. Henderson's moving in to engage this submerged contact 20 nautical miles out and closing in rapidly. Are we moving as fast as we can? All ahead flank. Ordered speed is 33 knots. Still not picking up this other sub over here. Come to a stop. Start drifting. Make sure we're not using active sonar. Indeed, we are not. Check on our merchant friend. Yeah, burning up. Taking on water. There we go. New sound contact. Depth 400 feet. 410 feet here. She's moving at 10 knots, whatever this is. Info. It's either an Echo 2 or a November class. Good to know. I'd like to bag another submarine before we close out the mission. We have another radar contact closing in here as well. This freighter still taking gunfire as McDonough closes in. We can increase speed all ahead standard, get moving. Henderson is moving up to 33 knots. Moving rapidly. We're losing contact on that sub now, which is fine. Kennedy. No torpedoes in the water. We have identified it as hostile. Not sure what it is. Probably a Foxtrot. Let's move around. Investigate these southern contacts and that Foxtrot class submarine. The merchant ship is quite low in the water, but still continuing to chug on. We are trying to close in on this submerged contact, but we'll see. I have a feeling we can probably sink this ship and get out of the way before that submarine is much of a threat. Kennedy's continuing to close in on its contact as well. There we go. Another good hit here. I love seeing the impacts underneath the hull here. All of our 5-inch rounds, all the holes we've plugged into this ship. And she is just continuing to take on water. It's only a matter of time before the water starts lapping over the deck here. The fire is kind of spraying. We got 2 hits right in a row there. Very, very good. We're closing the gap, so our gunnery will only get more and more accurate. But another radar contact, very large, 13 nautical miles away from McDonough. Henderson should be able to investigate that as well here. Let's see. Actually, Henderson, can you use your active sonar right now? Can you pick up that sub? Not yet. Oh, give me one more ping. Okay, no return. Secure it. Continue to close in. And you know what? We are going to hold fire. That ship is going to go down, no doubt about it. Surprisingly, she's still moving at 10 knots, actually. Wow, that's actually incredibly impressive. Quite surprised she's able to continue moving that quickly. Let's see, I'm sure our gun was reloading. Yep, it is now reloaded. It is ready to fire. All right. You know what? Continue to fire. Continue to engage. Another radar contact. Okay, we just picked up that noise down there. I'll stop. I'll stop. I'll stop. I'll stop. We got a blip there. I wonder if that was them opening their torpedo tube doors. There we go. Got them. Quite loud. 3 knots. No torpedoes in the water. If there were torpedoes in the water, I'm sure we would hear them. Let's change course though, just in case. Check on the merchant. Continuing to burn. McDonough's continuing to engage. She's getting quite close to the contact, 8 nautical miles out. That is 5 Soviet merchant ships going down to the bottom. We are going to investigate the rest of these contacts and prosecute these submerged submarines. McDonough was moving in to identify this other merchant ship back here. It is indeed a neutral vessel. We are not going to engage that, of course. McDonough is now going to turn in and engage this submarine. There's no way these 2 contacts way up here. These are 2 small little fishing boats, meager radar contacts. We're going to move in and blow this sub out of the water. Kennedy is going to keep tabs on the submarine. However, I do want her to move south and identify track 7065. Before turning and engaging this here sub. We've closed in on the Soviet November class submarine and she has fired at us. Multiple torpedoes are in the water. All ahead flank. Henderson, turn south. McDonough, start cutting in now. All ahead flank. Let's get ready to engage this thing. Wakecombing torpedoes in the water, heading straight for Henderson. We are going to turn as quickly as we can straight south. Kennedy has lost contact on that other submarine. I'm not going to let this November get away with firing at us. Let's see how far out. Oh gosh. Still have a ways to go before we can engage the submerged contact. We are going to try to get in range here though. The good news is the November has fired her torpedoes. We just have to evade and then we should be able to maneuver in for the kill. I want to see if we can maintain contact on this sub while just booking it like we are. It's going to be impossible to do with passive sonar, but maybe we'll get an active return. I did order Henderson to come to a stop just to listen. McDonough, oof. That's not looking great, I got to admit. That's not looking great at all for her. Are we going as fast as we can? Ahead flank. Oh no, the Soviets may get some revenge here. Radar contact, semi-small. 7 knots. Is that the sub? Kennedy, keep heading this way. I'll head standard. It could be the submarine out there. Who knows? McDonough, you gotta really run. Really run. Let's see here. Yeah, this is the closest one yet. Again, if these torpedoes come across our wake, we are boned here. But, man, it looks worse than it is, I suppose. 1.4 nautical miles away from this, and I'm giving us a little bit of buffer room here. She should be okay. She should be okay. Henderson. Okay, all ahead flank. Chase this guy down. We got to get within 6 nautical miles to fire our Ass Rock. It's much shorter range than I would like. I feel like this might be our submarine friend. Merchant ship, possibly. Who knows? Probably just a merchant ship. Looks like these torpedoes are starting to run out of fuel, which is very good. Yep, there we go. Let's see. What was the range of those? So the November fired around here. 12 nautical miles. Yeah, they still got plenty of fuel to hit McDonough. Henderson, just race in. Mark the sub's position. Although we should be able to pick it up relatively easily once we come to a crawl. Henderson's coming back to a stop. Picked up the torpedoes. There they are. Oh yeah, we're good. Gosh, she fired another one. She fired another. This sub is a pain. All ahead flank. Mark 46 torpedoes are in range. Engage with the tubes. All right, send a couple her way. Give this Soviet sub something to think about. Fire one more. There we go. Using those tubes there. And you know what? We have 3. I'm not going to mess around. Fire another. At the, pretty much max range here. Henderson, I need you to turn. Move as quickly as you can. All ahead flank. Drop a noisemaker here. Might cause some problems for them. You never know. Just wanted to do it for fun, really. Just wanted to do it for fun. We have a noisemaker way out here. Ah, the November's dropping them. Yeah, definitely. McDonough. Rock's still way out of range. Mark 46 torpedoes are going to race in, although, like I said, very limited range with how far out we are firing them, but you never know, we may get lucky. We could also have Henderson. We don't have to drop right on top of the sub, although that is optimal. Let's fire Ass Rock right there. 1. And maybe the torpedo will acquire the November if we get lucky. And fire another one that way. There we go, beautiful. We're going to give this November some real problems to think about. Drop Ass Rock right there. 1 away. Right in front of her. We have Mark 46 torpedoes that are going to be bracketing this submarine all over the place. And hopefully they actually are able to acquire. Thankfully, the November is quite a noisy submarine. All right, Henderson, I'm not even going to have you slow down. Just keep on booking it at 33 knots. Cross your fingers and hope you can get out of the way here. McDonough, keep closing in the range. I want you to, let's see. I may have you quickly slow up though. These Mark 46 torpedoes are dropping down nicely. And just look at the response time with Ass Rock versus just firing Mark 46 torpedoes. These Mark 46s are almost on top of the November. Things are looking good here. Okay, that was the casing splashing. And our Mark 46, come on, acquire right off the bat. I'd love to see it. Splash. Okay. Sonar ping's glitching a little bit. And they should start a circular search pattern. Although they may actually pick up the sub out there. We'll see what they do. We have 3 torpedoes in the water all around the November. Nowhere she can really hide. McDonough. Slow down, all ahead 1/3. Listen for these torpedoes. Heading towards Henderson. I'll stop. Oof, those are really darn close. McDonough. Complete stop, please. I think we're clear though. Thankfully, although we're at a very far range, so is the November. I don't think the torpedoes I've actually found the November. Yeah, it looks like they are doing their circular search. That's why I'd like to drop right on top of her. McDonough, turn towards her. All ahead flank. The Soviet sub's not going to get a chance to fire at us again because she's going to be preoccupied with evasion, I'm sure. Looks like this torpedo is... I don't know, it looks like it might be... It's dropping down 280 feet. It may be locked onto something. If we are lucky. Could be a noisemaker. We'll close in, though. Drop some more ass rock right on top of the sub. These torpedoes are starting to run out of steam. Up to the north, which is good. No longer a threat. We have, what, 6 torpedoes in the water? We're about to make it 8 once we get in range. I want to drop right on top of the November. There she is. Hello. Yeah, she's leaving a string of noisemakers behind her. Semi-large radar echo here. Kennedy's picking up. I'll stop. Listen for that sub. I need to order them to stop their current orders. Listen. Yeah, there it is. Sub contact way out there. Okay, continue to close. Depending on how this goes up north, I probably won't prosecute that contact. I'll hit full. November's still trying to crawl away. He's Mark 46 torpedoes. She's firing more? Oh my gosh. I can't even get close. I can't even get close to the November. Okay, Henderson. Turn in. She is keeping us at arm's length, that's for sure. Drop right there. 1. Drop another. We're just right outside. I can't drop right on top of the bastard, but can almost get there. I'm gonna order them to engage. Once we fire, salvo fire right on top. Once they get in range, they will automatically fire. And then we will break because I am pretty darn sure that those torpedoes were fired at McDonough. I'll stop. I'll stop on Henderson. McDonough, have you fired? Come on. You're almost there. This red line is the extent of our range. There we go. Look at that. 1 away. 2 away. Oh, she's going to fire 4. You know what? That's okay. We're putting those American taxpayer dollars to good use here. All ahead flank. Let's go. Get out of here. All right, torpedoes flying through the sky. This one is about to parachute right on top of our November friend. There's McDonough right there. Submerged submarine. Yep, got it. Way over here. Kennedy's still pretty far out to actually engage, though. I am loving this. Are you firing more? Okay, he's firing some noisemakers. Come on. Come on. Oh man, that is not great. These Mark 46s are coming down as well. Has this one acquired? It's dropping down 600 feet. What's our November's depth? 440 feet here. This Mark 46 is going, towards the void. I don't even know what it's going for. I just had 3 torpedoes splash down. 2 of them look to be homing in on the November. Another one's heading straight down. There must be a I bet maybe it's a noisemaker or something throwing them off. Who the heck knows? McDonough's running away from this wake homing torpedo. Thankfully, they only were able to fire 1 single torpedo. Contact has faded. Hopefully the torpedoes look like they are locked onto something, though. Man, this contact is proving incredibly difficult to actually hit and sink. Torpedo just exploded. It dropped down and crushed. I don't know why my Mark 46 did that. But these two are converging on something. There it is. There's a November. Come on. Cannot let it get away. There we go. They are homing in. Yeah, she's running for it. I do not think it is going to be enough for this poor November. There we go. Right in the middle. 2 Mark 46s. I think that November is taken care of. I don't think she's going to be fighting anymore either. Well, folks, that is going to do it for today's mission. I do hope you all enjoyed it. The Foxtrot-class submarine off to the east turned around and disengaged after hearing another one of his friends going down to the bottom. This was a really fun mission. There were only 5 Soviet merchant ships that I needed to intercept, and we managed to intercept all 5 with no losses. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and comment, as it really does help out the channel. But until next time, this is Wolfbag345 signing off, and I will see you all on the next one.